Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for staying tuned with me. I just want to continue to thank those who have supported me along this YouTube journey, and I want to also say a big thank you to everyone that came to the big debate in July 2018. The video is out, so please do check it out when you all are free. Today I want to talk about a topic that is very popular. We need it. It's necessary for life to live, and that is money. I've got a few people that have been asking me to talk about my journey and how I handle money and what they can do to handle theirs. So here we go. Finances, as we know, is a very sensitive topic for some, but I remember a time where it was really hard, and that was because I never knew the value of money. I thought, okay, because I'm getting money, it's so easy for me to spend, right? Wrong. Wrong. One of my biggest ways of making money is to save. You can get a 9-to-5 job. You can use your salary to invest in your savings account. You can save from as much as 500 to 1,000 to 1,005. If you're doing a part-time job and you're getting around £800, £900 per calendar month, then I would say save between 400 to 500 if you're very eager. I know some might be able to save about 200 to 300, but try and go the extra mile, because the more you put into your savings, the better you get out of it. Wow. Another way that you can make money as well is by selling what you already have. There are so many things, and I'm not even talking about the shoes behind me because some of the shoes behind me I haven't even worn for a long time. And it makes me really appreciate what I have, you know, which leads me on to contentment. Contentment is something that, as women and men, we need to learn how to cherish. I'm sure there are things in your wardrobes that you don't have, or things that you have and you don't even wear. They're just sitting there. The best thing to do is to sell them, or you can do a free giveaway. That's also nice. Maybe when they buy something, or so for example, if you have a book and you've got shoes that you don't wear, you can say, okay, well, if you buy my book, I'll give you a free pair of shoes, or if you subscribe to me, I'll give you £10 off my next shoe line, or I'll give you 20% off my next bag. There are so many ways that you can incentivize and make money. Definitely getting a savings account is very important, but I would highly recommend getting more than one savings account. At the moment, I've only got one, and I'm looking to get other accounts, including mortgages, business accounts, books accounts, my marriage account. So everything is literally in alignment, so I won't feel tempted to get money out from one account. I've got different avenues where I can actually get money out, but the purpose of getting a savings account is not to take the money. And there are some savings accounts that are fixed to be where you can actually withdraw, but I want to be the one to not withdraw. I want to be in control of my finances, so therefore I put money into that savings account and I don't take it out. And if I do have to take it out, I'll need to go to the bank. That is the kind of savings account you want, ladies and gents. You do not want the account where you can go on your Barclays app and you type in your 5-digit passcode and then it says transfer money and you're like, yeah, this is just, yeah, it's not on. A third point I would say is speak to an accountant if you have one. If you don't have one, definitely do try and find one. You can go on KPMG. They have a lot of information about accountants and where you can actually find the right accountant for your business or just for personal development and how to spend your money wisely. As I mentioned before, utilize what you already have. It's so important. Fashion is not running away, ladies, especially for my ladies, because I know how we are with hair, with clothing, with shoes, with makeup. A friend said to me, oh, I said, when are we going to buy this? When are we going to buy that? I said, listen, until I finish what I already have. There's no point of you trying to buy other things on top of what you have. You know, if your wardrobe can't breathe, that's a sign for you not to even buy one top. Use what you already have, because there's always beauty in looking for what is already inside the house. There's jeans, there's tops, there's jewelry that you can mix and match. There are so many ways that you can utilize everything that you have without spending one penny. Don't buy if it's not necessary as well. Very important. There are things that I can look at with my eyes and I gently just turn my face and I'm like, yes, Lord, I'm listening, I'm following you. I will not even dare buy it. Even if it's to even buy £1 sweets. Because I know me, if I eat sweets, it will go in 10 minutes. Because I'm a sweet tooth. So I have to really manage the way I spend my money, especially when it comes to food. You know, and even working as well, you know, you're very eager to eat on your desk. It can be tempting to go outside and just buy a quick ice cream or, you know, a nice drink with crisps. And by the time you know it, when you add it up, it keeps going. It keeps going. You know, I remember a time when I wasn't new into the world of work. I remember buying food every day. You're thinking £5 a day. It's £25 a week. And you're just thinking, no, you know, it's just that's £100 a month. You know, and I just think, that's too much money for food. And I'm sure, as, you know, mature women and men that we are, we can cook. So definitely save and don't buy if it's not necessary. Don't buy cheap clothes just because it's cheap as well. It's funny because, you know, when a friend tells you, oh, it's my birthday coming up, make sure you look good, my wedding's coming up, you know, and I just think, okay, let me see what I have. Guys, I'm telling you the truth, there are some dresses that I may have worn before, but you can always recycle them. You can change your hairstyle, you can change your makeup, you can change your shoes and your jewellery. The more important thing you can do is change your hair. Speaking of my hair, I haven't actually worn weave for a month, so I'm very proud of myself. Because for those who know me, you know how much I love my weaves. You know how much I love my long hair, my pixie cuts, my bobs. But sometimes it's so beautiful to leave your hair natural. So for all the natural ladies and for those who want to be natural, give your hair a break. It's so important. So you won't have to spend money on weave. Also cut back on socializing wherever possible. I'm a big socializer. For those who you know, follow me on Instagram, you can. Esther N. Jacob. I love to socialize, but I do it with wisdom. I don't socialize for the sake of it. I socialize because I actually need to meet someone for business purposes, or because I haven't seen that person for a while, or it could be a dinner, or maybe I'm treating them or they're treating me. So definitely socialize where necessary. Don't say because you're bored, I've been at home for the whole day, I need to leave the house. I'm sure you can have a shower and rest and read a book. That's more than enough time. And not only that, you're saving money as well. Going out has to be with intention, not because of boredom. Also, it's not every event or dinner you go to, as mentioned before. But if the event doesn't apply to you, don't feel the pressure to go. Also, monitor your income from your expenses. This is something that I do all the time. So, I usually schedule Monday to Sunday, keep my receipts, I look at how much I've spent, and I look at how much I've actually made from work, from business, from projects, etc. And then I see which one's higher. If I see my expenditures higher, I cut back immediately. Whether that means me not buying petrol for a while, and thankfully I don't have to use my car every day, but definitely cutting back on expenses is very important. And one thing I would say is feed your asset column. There was a book I was reading recently called Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read it, I highly would advise you to read it. It will change your whole mind about spending. I don't think you would even want to touch one penny. The money that you have, use it to invest in something else, whether it be to set up an event, buy a property to rent it out, investing in stocks and shares. You can do so many things, but maintain your income from your expenses. Also, this is a new one, speak to a financial advisor. You can go to your banks, they can refer you to mortgage advisors and brokers. There are so many options for you to get free advice, even online, on Google. Just type financial advice or your personal bank. You can also go on Property Industry Eye as well for mortgage advice, for those who might be looking to buy their first property, to get a first mortgage or to remortgage. Also, when it comes to saving, start thinking from a futuristic perspective. So when you know that you are due to get married, or you know that you want to buy your first house, that will discipline you to not spend. It will make you cut back on what you desire, and it will really make you appreciate what you have. When I tell you, this year has taught me to really appreciate everything I have. And it's not because I've been struggling, it's because I know what it took me to get the money in the first place. So definitely start saving up and start thinking about your tomorrow, maybe 1 year, in 2 years time, how much do you want to get? Set a time frame, or can I say smart objectives, for you to say, yes, this is what I want to do specifically by the end of 2018 in December. I remember going to Hayley Melinda masterclass in September, and she mentioned that she paid off all her student finance, and that was so inspiring, because I know the majority of us right now are still in that student finance league where we do want to pay it off. But how do you pay it off? You start with saving. You start with finding different ways to make money. And when you've got that lump sum, you pay it off straight away. You don't waste time. Even with credit cards, I personally don't have one. And I don't know if I do want one at this moment in time. But I would say, if you've got a credit card, pay it off. If you've got a loan, an overdraft, pay them all off. When you get your paycheck, let that be the first thing you do. And the remaining money, put some into your account. If you're earning more than 3k, try and at least save 1,500. If you're earning 2k, try and at least save 1 grand. Unless you've got expenses, of course. I'm sure everyone does, but yes, if you've got high expenses, so mortgages, rent, council tax, those kind of expenditures. So yeah. So moving on to how I save personally. My secret, I can say, is through tithing. Tithing, for those who don't know, is basically giving 10% of your increase back to God or into the body of Christ. So your church where you fellowship. And I remember in my first year of university, I was not the best person in doing this. I was very unfaithful to giving my money to church, because I thought, well, what's the point? And it's not good. I would honestly advise you to do it, because you're saying to God, God, this is the money that you've given me the strength to make, and I'm now pouring it back into your house. Because in Malachi 3 verse 10, it says, test me and see if I will not open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing for you that you will not have enough room to receive. And up till now, I'm really benefiting from that scripture. So definitely 10% of your increase every month to God is key, because he deserves it. Not that he needs it, but he deserves it. God. Also, another key secret for me is giving. I love to give. Even when sometimes I'm looking at my account, I'm just saying, hey God, just looking at it, I'm just saying, you know, sometimes it can be very hard, but giving is so beautiful in itself. I mean, the beauty of giving is so freeing, because you don't know when someone is going to help you. You don't know when you will need that helping hand. You don't know when you will need that person. When you do a favor for someone for free, there'll be a time where you will need that same favor or a similar favor. And the person that you helped will say, you know what, Esther, friend, relative, cousin, because you helped me, I'm going to help you. Giving is a secret to financial success. And I know it's not always easy, because as they say, you can't give what you don't have, but you can give what you do have. Also, establish a budget. So know how much you actually want to spend on a daily basis. If you don't want to spend anything at all, make food from your house, take it to work, and don't buy any snacks. Establish a budget of what you're also going to spend at a restaurant. Establish a budget for when you want to get a property. If you want to buy a property, you don't have to pay stamp duty on properties less than £300,000. So that's a really good start for those who are first-time buyers. But for those who are second-time and third-time buyers, yes, be wise, because the stamp duty is going to be very high for you. Next one is to treat yourself, but use it as an opportunity to save as well. It's important to treat yourself. For example, on your birthday, if you want to get your eyebrows done, your nails done, a pedicure, your hair did, of course, treat yourself according to the season. Don't treat yourself out of boredom. I always try to treat myself, apart from my birthdays, for other special occasions. So if there's a wedding that's going on, or if there's an event that I feel I need to, you know, look good and dress well, then yes, I will do so. But I wouldn't go beyond my limits. I feel like there are several ways that you can improve your credit score. That could also be through your phone contract and through a direct debit of your phone bill, or anything that's direct debit based. At the moment, I've only got my the car and my phone. That's literally my two main expenses. So yeah, but I feel like that is a good way for myself, for example, for me to improve my credit score. I actually haven't checked my credit score at all, so I should actually do that. But for those who have, please write it down in the comment box below and let me know what you found useful, if it's beneficial, because I've heard that if you constantly keep checking it, it can really affect your credit score. So yeah, please do let me know, or if not, I'll just do some research on it. It's very important to understand how peaceful it is to say, you know what, I'm actually so happy I've actually got this amount of money, or I've got this amount of clothes, because being content shows that you are able to manage what you already have, and it won't tempt you to touch your savings account. It won't tempt you to touch the money underneath your bed. It won't tempt you to ask your mum for that card. But when you're content with what you have, you're able to plan ahead. You're able to see it more clearly and say, okay, well, you know, I've got this business, but I don't have enough capital. So who can I go to help me? There are so many ways that you can definitely make money. But the key is to be content with the small. And I've had to realize that for a while. Because when I didn't have anything, in 2016, when I was made redundant, and I decided to buy this camera that I'm recording this video with, and then I decided to write a book, it caused me to be happy. It caused me to be joyful. I'll say that my best holiday as well wasn't Dubai. It wasn't Barcelona. It wasn't Berlin. It wasn't even Nigeria. It was Italy. And that was the year in 2016 that I wasn't working. It's so easy to, you know, say, yes, I'm traveling here and there. But when you don't have the money and you can go, it's a blessing. I'm not saying that I didn't have money. Of course I did. But it wasn't as sufficient as I wanted it to be. And that's why it will always be my best holiday. So be content with the small. It will go a very long way for you. Also, designate a day to not spend for at least, let's say you designate today, today's Wednesday, say in 2 weeks time, you can say, you know what, I'm not going to touch my money on food. I'm only going to use it for my bills, my transportation, my car insurance. If you can make a promise with that, it makes it so easy. But when you designate one day in the week to not spend money, it makes a difference. For those who may be working, obviously it can be a bit harder because, you know, when you're going out, you're hungry, you get peckish, you need to buy food. But for those who may not be working, it's a bit easier. But should I say it's easier? Because it's always online. And that's one thing I was talking to my sister about the other day, is that even though you're at home, there is a temptation to shop online. Of course there is. But you're able to manage it because you're not physically outside. So discipline yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to use, out of 7 days, I'm going to use 5 days to not spend any money. And I'm going to use those 5 days to use what I already have, whether it be food at home, my clothes, and just recycle them. But there's no harm in wearing the same top again. I wore this top in the new year in January, and then I wore it again, I believe, in June. But what I do tend to do is that I tend to spread it out. So I know the ladies, for some of you, I know that it's not easy to like repeat your clothes, because I am a big advocate for that. I don't, you know, wear the same thing too often. But if you spread it out, you change your hairstyle, you change your makeup, you change your hair, you change your jewelry, it makes a difference. It really does make a difference. So those are my top tips on how I save and how I also make money as well. But I believe that there are different ways to make money, also through your words. I will not forget the power of words, because the power of words can either make you or break you. The power of words is something that we don't talk about enough, because when we speak something negative, it's like a seed. And that seed, you've put it in the soil, but you can't see it, and you're watering it. That is what words do. Anything you speak will come to pass. And one thing I also stand on is faith. Faith without works is dead. So in other words, whenever you want to expand your financial intelligence, or you want to expand your savings account, make sure you're feeding life into it. Don't feed death into it. Don't say you're broke. Don't say I can't afford this. There are so many apps and, you know, programs that you can go on for free to save. So please, speak life into yourself. Your words are seeds, and you will get what you say. You will get what you say. So ladies and gents, be content. The few nuggets I'm going to give you is be content. Be content. Pay your tithe. And more importantly, speak words of life. Have a savings account. Think about your words. Think about what you say about your finances. Feed your asset column and eliminate your expenditures as much as you can. Speak to a mortgage advisor or mortgage broker. There are so many ways that you can save money. I may not know all of it, but these are what I know, and this is what I'm giving to you. But guys, thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.